What it means is Old Testament. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone up in the sky. Rivers and seas. More than 40 years of darkness. The sea of prophecy. Free human sacrifice. Dogs and cats living together. That's scary.
What in the world? What is going on? Oh my gosh. Anyways, here we are. I didn't know what the heck that was. What was going on there? No, well, listen, we were trying to get everything set up. I thought for a moment we hit the live button, and I thought, yeah, I know. Yeah, right. That was crazy, right? No, I thought that for a moment there that we actually had our at Sam Newsman live stream back, but we don't. Of course, false alarm, but we are here. And and yeah, setting the standard, raising the bar, the only way a real media puppet knows how to do. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Of course, I want to thank everyone for joining into the show. No, I thought for a moment there that we might have had our at Sam Newsman original live cam back and running, but we didn't. False alarm is why I was a little bit flustered here because I thought for a moment it would, of course, that would only make sense, right? It's like other people are getting banned on Instagram, and the next thing you know, then my ability to live stream comes back. Well, it hasn't. No, I'm still banned. The first person banned from live streaming. Now, I know I don't have my whole account banned. But anyways, if you're sitting there thinking that Instagram really is worth a damn in the first place, well, anyways, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's already a penny already out of the gate from Mary Murr. But here we go. This is where we are. And we're at Sam Newsman Live. That's where you can see my beautiful puppet face here, right there on the Sam Cam. I have the Sam Cams over here as well. Look at that beautiful puppet face. See, even Dead Man says it. You know, Dead Man, the whole Toy Mercs operation is from the Pacific Northwest. You know what that means? That means it's 10 o'clock now, 10:13 here on the East Coast. 10 was at 10, 9, 8, 7. It's 7 o'clock on the West Coast. And in the Pacific Northwest, Dead Man is here representing Dead Man and also representing Toy Mercs. You know, did I tell you guys about the whole thing? So I know my producer recently has been getting into toy photography. And so one of the things that's interesting, then sending some stuff back. They send it to me, and then all of a sudden they say, well, Sam, why don't you post it? And I'm like, well, you know what? What you need to do, Germ, is you need to get your own toy Instagram page. Well, I say Instagram page. Hell, you might just get banned. No, but listen, seriously, maybe there's a whole nother toy. What we have some? Oh, so we have a couple of other additional. Well, why don't you fire those up? Oh, you're waiting. Well, listen, I thought it was a good idea that you had, and you were just like, well, hell, let me just take the photograph, and then for collaborations, just sling the raw photograph to friends in the community, have them edit it, and then that'll just be like, so you just take the raw photograph of the photo, and then the collaboration is them editing the photo. So you have the original photo that you take, and then everybody else will sit there and do an edit on the photo. I wonder how many edits you can get, and then how many collaborations you can get. So that I think that's maybe where we're going to go with this. So we don't want to give it to them now. All right, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. We actually have a toy. We have a toy handle, a whole new IP. We have a whole new toy IP here in house for Saturday morning radio, possibly for just that. It'll be the collaboration of the collaborations. I think the collaborations of well, think about it for a moment. If you have a photograph, not me. I can't take a photo for crap. Listen, my little felt puppet fingers. Do you think I can sit there and I can't do anything like that. That's what you guys are for. That's why you guys are pushing buttons on the other side of the glass. That's why I'm on the microphone. Well, not just because I have a majestic puppet voice and a majestic puppet face, You could be watching right now at Sam Newsman all over social media. No, 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 not just that. But think about it for a moment. You sit there, you take a photograph, and you just give the raw photograph to several people within the community. And then the people in the community then take and edit that photo. And the collaboration is the editing of the original photograph. I think that this is where we are going to be going. And so should we tell them? Should we tell them that should we, well, we might as well. Okay, at Toy Life, ToyLyfe, at Toy Life is where we're going to start doing this. Yeah, listen, I know. I understand. Well, it's like breaking news, breaking news. Oh, yeah. You don't want to have sit there so like, oh, well, hey, we're going to make an announcement. It was like, well, yeah, we could sit there and make an announcement. Might as well just sit there and just have it off the cuff. Have it off the cuff at Toy Life, ToyLyfe, ToyLyfe. What is Toy Life? Toy Life is where we have a photograph and we submit that photograph to a couple of other photography experts. And from there, what we do is we have them edit it, we post it. It's a collaboration. The Toy Life collaboration, you heard it here first, here on Saturday Morning Radio. We have a raw photograph. We send it to some friends. We all collaborate. The community grows. And really, that's what it's all about, the community growing, particularly the creative community. The creative community. Now, as far as the commentary community, well, just got to be careful. You got to be careful because it seems that it just seems that if you're not too careful, if you're just too authentic, I guess, maybe all of a sudden, eventually, your channel might get shut down. Now, they're like, yeah, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. It's because it's the most interesting thing that has been happening in the toy community probably since COVID and everybody was chasing down action figures 2 aisles over from the bubble blowing lawnmower. That's probably it, right? Yeah, the most interesting thing is happening is it. Oh, absolutely ridiculous. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now that I stand with potatoes. And you say, well, what does that mean, Sam? Well, I stand with potatoes. And potatoes are an interesting thing. People might say, was it? No, I said potatoes, not tomatoes. You guys are behind the glass. What are you guys talking about? What? No, tomato. What about tomatoes? Tomato is a fruit? Well, of course. What? I was trying to talk about potatoes. I stand with potatoes, not tomatoes. Do you like ketchup? You should see how much sugar's in it. Yeah, well, so forget about that. No, I stand with potatoes. I stand with potatoes, always do stand with potatoes. French fries in particular are my MO. But so anyway, so here we are. It is, what is it? What is 10/18? 10/18 on the first day of June in the year 2024. And what do we got here? So we do have a few things. Listen, I've been going on, just kind of rambling on. We're talking about stuff, action figures and toys. People always thought that, hey, well, Sam, you sit there, you post this image, you post an image of 3 different newspapers and Donald Trump and the guilty verdict. And you're like, well, Sam, you're the most trusted puppet in media. Why are you not talking about that just yet? I will say, well, you got to sit there and build up to it. If I just gave you everything, yeah, it's because potatoes make me look taller. Oh, see, look, this is what it is. You sit there, you're distracting me. You're distracting me. So, the reason why I say this is that, this is an interactive show. The difference between this show and other shows, the other difference between this show and other shows is, number one is that's a real radio broadcast microphone. What does that mean? That means that this is actually on an FM broadcasting signal. Yes, yeah. So if you were in the car here in Richmond, Virginia, just driving around town, You would sit there, turn on the radio, WDCE 90.1 FM, and you would hear my beautiful puppet voice. You'd be like, oh, wow, wow, because it's a real microphone. It's a real microphone, real radio microphone. And, but there's also the websites at Sam Newsman all over social media. I got people that are sitting there texting me, and I say this is a live interactive show. Because just because we're on the radio, it means that we're also on video. The Sam Cam right here live. The Sam Cam at Sam Newsman live on Instagram. Hello. What is it? Anime figure. I think that they're neat. Mud Scuffer. Mud Scuffer. God bless you. Oh my gosh. Please follow Mud Scuffer on Instagram. If you still have your Instagram account, by the way. Good morning, Vietnam. That's what he wanted. Hey, listen, he wanted me to say that. We say that all the time. This is just a joke. So no, well, like I said, we're an interactive chat. We have the interactive chat right here. We got Mud Scuffer, Lone Dragon, anime statue figure collector, Dead Man as well. We have people over here, Lone Dragon, Big M, Nugs, Calix. I'm sure that Cato is out there listening somewhere. Cato, the official toy reviewer of Saturday morning radio. It'd be interesting to hear Cato's perspective on quite possibly the most interesting story going on in the toy community in terms of what's going on. I would rather just talk about toys. But it seems that there's a abuse happening within. I don't want to really go into it. No, listen, I got other things to worry about. People are like, oh, well, listen, you should talk about that. You should talk about this. You should talk about the angst and the hate between. Do you want me to say it? I'll say it. Between the notorious Viper Island and the crew of the 3 POA. It's a very interesting thing, and it's a lesson to all of you as this is happening. People always want to sit there and say, well, Sam, what's your view on it? And what is your view? Well, my view has always been what it always has been, is that Ryan of the 3 POA is quite possibly one of the best producers, if not the best toy producer of content on the internet. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Known Ryan for a while now. The producers have too. And here's the interesting thing is that I have actually done videos for Viper Island. So there's a video with me on Viper Island's webpage. So I do know Viper. I know Liam. And I have talked to Dex as well. Dex being his son. And people are like, well, Sam, what do you want to say? What do you want to say? Well, the only thing I really want to say about the whole situation is that this is very unfortunate. It's unfortunate because this goes back to, what is it that you say, Germ? You said, yeah, Germ's over there behind the glass. He's sitting there saying that it seemed like the toy collecting was so much better before we even knew that there was even communities out there toy collecting, right? So we didn't even have our social media until, was it 2021 here on Instagram? Now we were on YouTube early on just to lock in the name. We were on Twitter early on so we could be a part of the. We were within the time frame when I think the tweets were chronicled in the Library of Congress. So we got to make sure that we're in that. So there's a portion of tweets in Twitter where it was chronicled in that, right? So here we are. We're what I really want to get to all of this is now I've sat there, I've talked to people. I know that my producers talk to people, and this goes back to the idea is that you can sit there and point fingers. You can point fingers to someone and say, "Oh, they're abusing the system." You're abusing the system, and this is shame on you. You need to get called out. And I would sit there and say, well, if someone is abusing a system and they need to get called out, well, call them out. But the fact of the matter is is that when you have a brand, I'm going to say this again. When you have a brand and you have something that you believe in as a brand in a community, when that community and brand is tied to a corporation that is basically an avatar in order to how your community gets out there. I'll use the Toy Mercs, for example. Toy Mercs is on Instagram. Well, if somebody says some nonsense and all of a sudden Toy Mercs gets shut down, well, guess what? Here's the reality. Toy Mercs tied themselves to Instagram. And if Toy Mercs Instagram gets nuked, then guess what? And guess what? Well, here's the thing. Did you hedge a protection of your community and what you do outside of that? And the reason why I say all this is because I know that no matter what happens in terms of social media, I do know that the 3POA and the community of the 3POA is a very vibrant and strong community. And that something like this will possibly corral them into finally doing what they've been meaning to do for a long time, and that is creating their own playground outside of the social media structure. You're worried about somebody giving you a false copyright strike? Are you worried about just you saying a key word and the algorithm just all of a sudden shuts you down? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that is really the key to all of this. If we want to have our own communities outside of the arbiters and outside of the way that people can manipulate broken codes in the back end of a whole social media platform, listen, that's what needs to happen. I've been saying it for a long time, and we've been working on things back here in the background for our own show. But when I sit there and I see my brothers in the community, they're losing their Instagram accounts, and they're, because people are copyright false striking or whatever it is. It goes back to that, sure, somebody is abusing the system, but here's the problem is that you attached yourself to the system. And the idea is to get the hell off of the system. Somebody said the 3POA sandbox. That's exactly right. There should be a 3POA sandbox, and that's their own sandbox. There should be a Toy Merc sandbox. And of course, there may be times where, who's to say, we have Splatter Day every single Saturday. Who's to say that somebody one Splatter Day is going to be like, oh, that Splatter Day image is too offensive. And next thing you know, things get shut down. We don't want that to happen. So, No, wait. Okay, so all right. So I do. All right. So I see this. This is a really good this is a good comment. Cato, once again, Cato, the official toy reviewer of Saturday Morning Radio, he says, well, that's all in good, but the answer isn't just leaving to find a new playground. I'm not saying to find a new playground. I'm saying to create your own playground. I'm not telling you to find a new playground. I'm telling you to create the new playground. Has nothing to do. Listen, I don't want to sit there and be stuck. The fact of the matter is this, is that if you're on social media, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, the reality is that it's free. And if it's free, you and I both know that if something is free, you, the consumer, the one using the platform, you are the commodity. Your community is the commodity in which they're profiting off of, and you're not even profiting as much as they are. So it has nothing to do with fighting to save the playground. I don't know about you, Cato, I love you, but I don't want to sit there and fight to save YouTube. I don't want to fight to save Instagram. I don't want to fight to save Facebook. I don't want to fight to save any of this. Hell, I've been banned from TikTok forever, and what are you talking about? Fight to save the playground that is already coded against you. I'm not going to do that, and I don't think that you should either. I only say that because if there was a Cato's Club and I had to pay $5 a month, you daggone right, I'd pay $5 a month for the Cato's Club. I'd pay $5 a month, $10 a month for the 3POA Club, right? Why? Because I know that money is not going to YouTube. I know that money is not going to Facebook, it's not going to Instagram. I don't care about my subscribers, and Patreon is the brand. Oh, I got a Patreon account. You know, if there's one thing that Viper Island did say is the dirty stripper money that is getting thrown to everybody, I will sit there and say that to the day. Listen, super chats are the stripper money of social media monetization. I'm going to say it again. Super chats are the stripper money of social media monetization. Oh, you're supporting the channel. No, it's not. You're throwing dollar bills to a stripper. People are going to say, oh, that's a hot take. So, but I'm not. Listen, I'm not, it's not a hot take. It's just the facts. Some of the other facts here. Cato says he still loves my velvety butt. Cato, I love you. Once again, Cato, the official. Can we start having official this for the show? We say that Cato's toy collection, the official toy reviewer of Saturday morning radio. Toy Mercs, the official toy picture community of Saturday morning radio. Well, until Toy Life comes around. Well, but yeah, but even I'm just sitting there saying, and then we have Skydro and sous chef Skydro and this whole crew out there in Oklahoma, making what do they do? Yeah, 800 people, an 800 person banquet. Dead Man says, preach, and start running around like it's a Pentecostal service. And start speaking in tongues. That's how you, right? No, that was done. Okay, so here we go. Listen, I got Professor Deep Cut Dave coming in just a few minutes. Do you guys have everything set up here? No? All right, so they're setting it up right now. I know we got Professor Deep Cut Dave. He's going to be coming here in just a few moments. Do we have? What's it, Dave? There we go. So we have Dave's set loaded. All right, so Professor Deep Cut Dave is going to be with us in just a few moments. Going to be closing out, of course, Annie Mae. We have he has about 3 songs left on the anime block. And then we're going to start getting into June Bugs. What is June Bugs? June Bugs, Looney Tunes, American animation. Starting in June, we got a couple of jams for that as well. And of course, the professor will be with us in about 7 minutes or so, 7-8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. We'll see. Anyways, but listen, do you have did you download the Live 365 app? Download the Live 365 app. Search WDCE. You can listen to the radio-only segments of the show. That's where these songs come in here in just a few moments. The radio segment with me and Professor Deep Cut Dave, that's radio only. You're only going to hear that on the radio. I'm going to be back, of course, at 11:11, and it is 10:33 here on the first day of June in the year 2024. Tell everybody that we're broadcasting live here coast to coast and all around the plane of Earth. Broadcasting live, setting the standard, raising the bar, the only way a real media puppet knows how to do. At Sam Newsman, all over social media is where you're going to find me, setting the standard, raising the bar, here on the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.
nous chantera le temps des services et vers aussi et merveilleux sera tout en fait.